Hey, you! I need you to hit the subscribe button below.
Teach you to turn that thing up.
Shalom. You are tuned to the Natives Hour, home of the 10 tribes. I'm Captain Gaddy to my right.
Wagwan family, Officer Uriel.
To my left.
Soldier Gadiel.
All praise to the Most High.
Hey, y'all should have been here like 10 seconds ago.
10 seconds ago. 10 seconds ago. 10 seconds ago, you would have known why we are laughing.
Oh, man.
Some brothers change their names. Never mind. I ain't going to say that. I ain't going to say nothing. Some brothers change their names to what they were before they were in the truth. Hey! All right, we ready? Hey, what we got going on today? We going over Manasseh. Who is Manasseh? God calls you Manasseh. The white man calls you Cuban.
Hey,
that's what God called. God called you Manasseh. You so-called Hispanics, you ain't Hispanic. You not property of Spain.
right.
You are from the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
You know, the natives hour, the 11th hour, because y'all know time is short, man. Time is short.
Right.
Bring it out. We think we got time, but we don't know. We don't know. The Lord could crack that sky right now. Hey, this would be the perfect time for the Lord to crack the sky because we teaching the word of God.
That's right. That's right.
This be the best way to go.
Hey, all praise.
But all praise to the
All
Most High,
praise.
y'all. Let's get right into it. Let's jump right into it. What we got first?
Most High putting the squeeze on Manasseh.
Squeeze. And the count squeeze. Go ahead.
Talk about Cuba and
Turn it
why
up a
it's
little bit.
not working. There's not enough food, medicine, or fuel. The economy is broken. Even with a job, it's hard for most Cubans to buy the basics. And then throw in a
Hey,
pandemic.
go back. I want you to go back. I want you to pause it where she says, buy the basics, because then it shows you the prices. Go ahead.
And why it's not working. There's not enough food, medicine, or fuel. The economy is broken. Even with a job, it's hard for most Cubans to buy the basics.
Pause it. Now, I want y'all to look at this right here, right? I want y'all to look at this. This was going on in Cuba that they not telling us in the news. They're not telling us what's going on. And actually, right now, Cuba, the government has halted all social media. They got the power to cut the internet off.
Right. The internet is off.
The internet is cut off. So they protested today, just like they did weeks ago when it was in the news. But what they able to do, they able to cut the internet off so the world can't see what's going on.
Right.
But the sister said that in Cuba, it's a crisis going on. Just like we brought out in, what was that, Venezuela a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
How, you gotta have like 600, I forgot the name of their money.
Right. The dollar.
Huh? Bolivars. You gotta have 600 to buy a doggone
Hot dog.
hot dog.
Well, that's without a soda.
Right. That's without a soda and ketchup. No ketchup.
Right.
Extra for ketchup.
Regular hot dog with the bun.
This is pasta dental. So this is what? Toothpaste, right?
There's nothing there. Like,
Right. It's $8 for
Eight
a thing of toothpaste.
$8 American
dollars for a thing of toothpaste. A little tube of toothpaste.
Yeah.
What is Haban Baño? What is that? Soap? Bath soap? A bar soap?
Right.
$5. Can we look up, go to Google. I want you to go to currency exchange. How much is $5 compared to Cuban money? I want you to look that up.
I wouldn't be surprised if it say about 500 Cuban dollars.
Yeah, because what I heard is that they live off of $44 a month or something like that.
Right.
They live off of $44 a month, something like that. What crazy number. You got it? Yeah. Go ahead and pull it up. 120 Cuban pesos is $5. So now I want you to go to what's the average, you know I want. You're a smart man. There you go. Cuba. Average, yep. Let's see. But yeah, right there. Let's go and read that.
What is Cuba's average income? In the long term, the Cuba average monthly salary is projected to trend around $1,050 or Cuban pesos per month.
So that's 150 pesos a month, right? Is that it?
Yep.
I'm sorry, 1,050 pesos a month.
Yes, sir.
Right? So I want you to break that down to US dollars. And watch it. Watch how much it is.
Oh, man, look
See?
at that.
$43.
Mm.
They living off of $43 a month.
That's crazy.
So $1, go to $1. Remember now, $1 is 24 pesos, right?
Right.
$8 is how much? That's 192 pesos. That's a bar of soap right there.
So subtract $8 from 43, and then that's just a bar of soap.
That's just right. So do that.
So when you come across like bottles of water, cereal,
subtract 8. So $8 is 192, right? So 43 take away 8. How much is that? 35. So they living off of 30. Now mind you, $43.
right.
And you haven't bought anything for yourself.
No groceries,
no groceries, no rent. $8 for a bar of soap.
Yeah, I believe they pay rent once a year over there. Like they pay like land taxes and stuff once a year.
But this is just, I ain't even talking about rent yet. This is just a bar of soap.
Right.
A tube of toothpaste.
Right.
$8. So now you only have a equivalent to 35 US dollars left for the rest of that month.
Right. And imagine how much rice costs.
Right.
If a tube of toothpaste costs $8, imagine how much rice costs.
Food, right?
You would have to save up probably 3-4 months before
Water.
you can buy some rice.
Medication.
Come on now, dog.
And how many kids you have as well.
Right. How many kids you got?
Damn.
You know Manessa make a lot of kids.
Exactly.
Cubans make a lot of kids.
The higher the stress level, the more kids they have.
Yep. And that's all Israel too. He was talking about that.
Right. The more stress we have.
The more we in bondage, the more kids we have. Hey! Kids, I'm telling you, man, having kids is what regulates the stress level of Israel. I'll be real with you.
Bring it out.
Anyway, I want you to look up something else. Look up rent in Cuba. How much is average rent in Cuba?
Uh-oh.
I want you to look that up. What is rent in Cuba?
Apartment, 1 bedroom
Look at this.
in the city center.
Look at this. So how much is rent in Cuba? Cost of living averages table for Cuba. Apartment, 1 bedroom in city center. So that's like where the expensive stuff at. So let's go to outside. Apartment, 1 bedroom outside of center is $72 a month.
House, wait.
And that's 1 bedroom.
I mean, 3 people got to live in there.
Not 3, the whole family.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like 3 working adults. 2 got to pay the rent. 1 got to buy the food.
Right. Not even.
Come on, man.
But I said that. Then you got the kids working. The kids got to work.
There you go.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
The kids got to work.
I hate it here.
That's what they be saying. That's why they all make boats and try to get over to Florida.
Right.
Damn. Go back to the video. Go back to the video.
That's crazy, man.
Back to the video. So it's a lot of things going on in Cuba, man, that America don't really tell nobody. Cause we spoiled over here, man. America has spoiled that's why we're the fattest nation on the earth. That's why we're the most sickest people on the earth.
Right.
That's why we're the most that's why we so angry and when it come to violence and all that stuff. Cause we spoiled.
For real.
I could wake up you understand? I could wake up at any time of the day, of the night, of the morning, and go get me a Big Mac.
Right.
For $1.
Yep.
$1.
That wouldn't even put a dent in our paychecks.
That wouldn't even put a dent, bro. Our brothers over here in Cuba, they ain't got the money to do that.
Right.
They ain't got the money to buy soap, man, to buy water. Go back to the video. I'm gonna bring some scripts on it later. Go back to the video.
And then throw in a pandemic.
So run it back. Run it back, Hester.
Let's talk about Cuba and why it's not working. There's not enough food, medicine, or fuel. The economy is broken, Even with a job, it's hard for most Cubans to buy the basics. And then throw in a pandemic. The people, they're tired.
Pause it.
And
He said Havana has collapsed. So we have no money, we have no house, we have no food. Go ahead.
Display of anger and frustration in the streets of Cuba.
Miles de personas marcharon para protestar por la falta de libertades y por la paupérrima situación económica.
And this is rare for Cuba. People daring to protest on the streets and online.
Nosotros merecemos vivir, merecemos un futuro.
So what's gone wrong? Why are things worse than ever? And where does the US fit in?
Uh-oh.
Hey, hold on. I got to say something about that, man.
Go ahead.
Because when it comes down to it, it's always United States got their hands in stuff. You know what I'm saying? And our people, we so destroyed that we're always looking to this place to save us. We always looking for America to help us out,
right,
in every situation. Let me get. Can I get something real quick, Cap?
Go ahead.
Let me get Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. Go on.
Bring it up.
bring Lamentations chapter 4, 17 out real quick.
Yeah, that'll help. That'll help you. Your mic was on. Hey, Gadia, read it.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17.
Bring it out.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
So as for us, as for Israel, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. Read on.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
A nation that could not save us. Manasseh right now is looking for the help from Babylon, from America. When you look out throughout Israel, it don't matter what tribe you from. We always going through some type of distress,
right?
And we're always looking for America to save us.
That's right.
That's why the Most High God, give me Zephaniah 2:1. That's why Most High God says, gather yourselves together. Because right now, our brothers over there in Cuba don't know that they're not Cubans. They don't know that they're Manasseh.
Right. They don't know they're the actual sons and daughters of God.
Right.
They don't know that.
So they walk around thinking they have Cuban pride.
Right.
They have Cuban pride, not knowing that you Israel. Read that real quick. Zephaniah 2:1.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Turn your mic up a little bit, Hasadar.
Gather yourselves together.
Read on.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
You see that? Cuba is not a nation. Cuba is not a nation. Puerto Rico is not a nation.
Hell no.
Native American is not a nation.
Bring it up.
We gotta understand that the Most High called us Israel.
Right.
That's right.
Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad. We gotta come together.
Right.
And when we come together, we see stuff like this, and in our repentance, we gather ourselves together and help each other out. Right now, you can't do it because Cuba is so prideful. Our people so prideful. Puerto Rico is so prideful. It's a lot of stuff that we're going through, and yet we got so much pride, we can't even come together.
Hey, that's why, and I'm going to tell you something, that's why the Lord, I'm going to be real with y'all here on the Natives Hour. I'm gonna be
Bring
real,
it out.
I'm going to tell you what it is.
Bring it out.
That's why the Lord chose Judah.
Let's go.
I'm going to be real with y'all. The Lord chose Judah. Why?
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Hey, I got to be real about
That's
it.
spot on.
I got to be real about it. The Lord chose Judah for that very purpose.
Right.
Because the people of Cuba, you got to understand something. They may come to America, but guess what? They always got where to go. They could go right back if they wanted to. You know, they always got that sense
mindset,
of my country,
homeland,
my homeland, my country. That's why the Lord chose Judah, because if he would have chosen Manasseh would only teach Manasseh.
Right.
Hey,
Levi would only teach
Ephraim.
Levi would only teach Levi.
Levi was only teach Levi. But the Lord chose Judah because Judah ain't got no place of dwelling.
They don't got no
This
is it.
Yeah.
I almost said we. They still in the land of their enemies. Hey, let's read that real quick. I got to give a shout out to Judah. Deuteronomy 33 real quick.
Hey, all praises.
Deuteronomy 33:7. Hey, and when you look at it, all of these things that's happening to our Northern Kingdom brothers when it comes to Ephraim, a so-called Puerto Ricans, so-called Cubans, so-called the people of Venezuela.
Right.
All of these things has already happened to the so-called blacks in America. It's following suit. It's going right down the line. And what are they doing? They doing the same thing that Judah did, protesting. Fighting against oppression, fighting against the government.
Hey, you in the spirit, Kak. I was just going to say.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing.
That stuff don't work. It don't work.
But they following suit. That lets you know who the tribe's looking up to. Who the tribe's is looking at for means of insurrection. For how to fight against oppression. Read that real quick. Verse 7.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
And this is the blessing of Judah.
This is the blessing of Judah, the so-called African Americans. Read.
And he said, hear, Lord, the voice of Judah.
The Bible said, Lord, hear the voice of Judah. That's the blessing. God hears Judah's voice, man.
Oh, yeah, all praise.
That's right.
God hear that thing. That's why when you look at it, who brought the truth out? Judah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who's gathered? Who's gonna gather the 12 tribes? Okay, brother,
Judah.
you not Cuban, you Manasseh.
Right.
You not Puerto Rican, you Ephraim. You not Native American, you Gad.
Right.
You not Seminole, you Reuben. God is giving that blessing to Judah. Read.
All praises.
Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him.
You see that?
And bring him unto his people.
And bring him unto his people. This is that. This is that. You ain't Hispanic.
Right.
You ain't Native American. You ain't Taino.
Right.
You ain't conquistador.
Right.
You don't descend from Christopher Columbus.
Right. For real.
Read.
They take pride in that.
Bro, they take pride in that. Come on.
Let his hands be sufficient for him.
Watch this.
And be thou an help.
And be thou an help
to him from his enemies.
And be thou an help to him. That let you know that Judah was going to face things. Judah was going to face things that not all tribes going to face at that time. Because watch this. In America, right? What has been going on with Judah since Judah got off them slave ships in America? The white man has tried to annihilate Judah for 500-600 years.
To this day.
The white man like, damn, I just can't kill these niggas.
Right.
What's going on?
We tried lynching them.
I can't kill these niggas, man. They don't even have their own land. They don't even have a language that they could call there. Right. They ain't got nothing, but yet somehow they still here.
Right.
Yeah, because God. Come on, bro. Come on. Stay in the spirit, brother. Stay in the spirit.
That's actually
God. Hey, I know. But that because God is helping them. But the reason why I bring it out is because the people of Cuba, you are not Cubans.
Right.
That's right.
You are from the tribe of Manasseh. And the reason why all this stuff is happening is because God is trying to get your attention. God is letting you know that the same thing happening to you has happened to the so-called blacks.
Right.
The same thing happened to you is happening to the so-called Mexicans.
Right.
It's happening to the so-called Venezuelans. It's happening to the so-called South Americans.
Right.
It's happening to all of God's people, man.
That's right.
You ain't the only one. See what the people of Cuba are doing? They're taking this instance and trying to isolate it like they're the only nation of people going through it. No, you are part of a curse that was put upon a nation thousands of years ago.
And that's why on that note, I'm gonna land back off of what you're saying.
Go ahead.
Because on that note, when you look at it, all of Israel's going through it right now.
All of us.
The Most High is putting a squeeze on us like crazy. Hey, give me Hosea 13:9 real quick. Because just not too long ago, the so-called Haitians on the islands went through an earthquake.
Right. Just
on a 7.2 magnitude, over 9,000 people are injured and without homes right now. So now when you look at it, all of Israel is getting put through the squeeze. Right. Give me Hosea chapter 9, my bad. 13 and 9.
The book of Hosea, chapter 13 and verse 9.
Read that out.
O Israel.
O Israel. O Manasseh. Read on.
Thou hast destroyed thyself.
You have destroyed yourself. We destroyed ourselves as Israel by continuing to call ourselves Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Native Americans. Right. By continuing to call yourself that, you will continue to be destroyed.
Hey, because when you call yourself by those names,
right,
you are actually isolating yourself from your people. You are isolating yourself. I'm Native American.
Yeah, that's cold.
I'm Cuban.
Right.
So if you ain't Cuban, you don't know what I'm going through.
There you go.
You don't know the problem, the magnitude of the problems of what we are dealing with.
Right.
Exactly.
But actually, we all dealing with the same exact problem.
Yep.
That's
Every last one of us. Started with Judah on down.
Yep. See, and that's the thing. You isolate yourself, and then therefore there is no gathering together.
Ain't no
You
gathering.
can't gather together.
You can't tell me nothing.
You can't tell me Cubans and Puerto Ricans can't gather together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be Ephraim and Manasseh.
Even Dominicans and the so-called Haitians, and
Exactly.
y'all on the same damn island.
Same island.
When the president was assassinated in Haiti, the first thing
They shut down their borders.
the Dominican Republic did was shut down
They
the border.
shut down that border.
What?
Quick.
No.
Y'all niggas ain't
You
coming
Haitians
here.
ain't coming over here.
Right.
We are so divided, man. We are so divided. You go back. Jump in if you got something to say, man. Go ahead. Go back to the video. We'll talk.
After 60 years of communism, it's hard to know just how many Cubans still support the revolutionary ideals of Fidel Castro. There are no free elections or independent polls. The state controls the media and shuts down the internet when it wants. All we know is what we're
Now,
seeing.
you know what's crazy? America, right? I understand Fidel Castro was a dictator. You know, some things he did was evil as hell. A lot of things they did was evil as hell. But some things that he did was actually wise. Hey, she said that they could shut down the internet, right? They see what they throw that out there, right? But when you look at why they would shut down the internet, they shut down the internet for porn, so you can't watch porn. Right. They shut down the internet for other things that actually is beneficial to the nation. But one of them is insurrection.
Right.
You can't go against the government. Now I understand. Like I said, he did a lot of crazy stuff
to some point.
To some point,
Right.
but to some point, what he did, a lot of stuff he did was actually on point.
Right.
When you do the research of Fidel Castro's point of views, a lot of stuff he did was on point. That's why they loved him.
Right.
That's why the revolution thing, they loved him.
He was there for a minute.
He was there for a minute. Hell, he died at 90 years old.
Yeah.
He was an old man. They say he outlived 100 assassinations, attempted assassinations on his life. 100.
That brother, dang.
They couldn't kill him. Couldn't kill him, bro. He outlived 11 U.S. presidents. They couldn't kill him, so he must have been doing something right.
For real.
Go back to the video. We got to get through this. Go back to the video.
And hearing. And in July, when thousands of Cubans marched in protest, they were chanting things like,
Freedom, 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 freedom. Down with
and
Castro.
also this.
Homeland and liberty. No, homeland.
The chant is from this song, released a few months ago, a song that's become the soundtrack to people's frustrations.
Live, yeah. That's the hit de zona. Go ahead. I think that's hit de zona.
It's a spin on Fidel Castro's famous slogan.
They loved him.
People are tired of not only of the situation, but also tired of listening to the same things all over again.
The system right now isn't working for anyone. So let's get into some of the main reasons why, starting with the absolute essential, getting enough to eat.
People have to undergo hour-long lines in order to get food, and not even to get all the food they need.
They don't grow enough food for themselves. They're an island that doesn't provide enough fish for itself.
In most countries...
Stop. I'm going to tell you why this is bull crap, all right? Tell you why this is bull crap. This is an island that doesn't grow anything. It's an island that doesn't provide enough fish.
Right.
Oh, I wonder why.
Right.
Interesting.
The white men go around collecting billions of fish on one boatload.
Right.
Just raping the whole sea.
Yep.
But now you say, well, they don't have enough fish for the island. Cuba is surrounded by what? Water,
right.
Ocean. So you saying the ocean doesn't supply enough fish for the island?
Right. The ocean cannot do its job.
That's because the oppressor has stolen everything. If Cuba was so unprofitable, why did Christopher Columbus take over the land of Cuba.
Right.
Why did they send? No, why did he send his conquistadors and rape Cuba from all their minerals, for their gold, their diamonds? Why? If Cuba isn't nothing. See, that's what the white man do. The white man tell the people that, it's like they say Haiti is a third world country, right?
Right.
Third world country, right? I'm gonna tell you something. You don't go and take minerals
and
from,
resources
from third world countries.
Right. How do you do that? How do you do that?
You don't go and do that. That lets you know the country is not third world. The people are just poor.
Right.
That's because America, I'm gonna tell you,
systematically,
America has their hand in everything.
Yep.
Everything. And I'm waiting for this to see
America has their hand in this thing, man.
Exactly.
Y'all better believe that thing. America put what do they call? Sanctions, embargoes, and all types of stuff that make countries poor, make the people poor.
Right.
Takes from the country, but the people get nothing, and they become poor. And what do? They do an uprising.
Right.
And what does America do? I'll save you.
We'll come in. We'll bring in these things.
Right. I'll save you.
Yep.
Call on America.
Right.
When America's actually the ones that caused the problem.
Right. Hey, that's why. I
go back to the video, man.
We got to get you.
Go back to the video.
Yeesh.
This food is supplied by a mix of public and private industries. But Cuba's communist system centralizes and controls that whole process. Farming is already tough enough. There are shortages of things like pesticides, fuel, and equipment, stuff that has to be imported. And there's a drought, the worst in 100 years. Now, the government sets prices and production quotas for farmers. It collects their produce and controls distribution. But most economists agree that that kills any incentive for farmers to be more productive. And the whole system is bureaucratic and inefficient. It didn't work in the Soviet Union. It's not working in Cuba.
Most Cuban farmers are still dependent on the state, and that has not encouraged that sector.
Pause it. And we're gonna find out why it's a drought in Cuba. Why no rain is going on. Why that all these atrocities, all these things that happen in Cuba. We're gonna get to it a little later. Go ahead.
Fulfilling the needs of 11 million of Cubans.
What all this means is that Cuba can't feed itself. The state has to import something like 70% of food. And that just got even more expensive. In the last year, global prices jumped 40% because of the pandemic. Now, to buy food on the international market...
Come on, man. So COVID made everything jump up 40%. Everything jumped up 40% because of the pandemic. So this pandemic was not only meant to kill you medically, but also to starve you out.
Yep.
Exactly.
Here we go.
So also to make the things that you were once okay to pay for, now you can't pay for them in the time of trouble, like COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I wonder who did that.
Cuba needs foreign currency, but it doesn't have much of that. And there's a whole bunch of reasons for it. Mismanagement by the country's leaders, for sure. But also the U.S. embargo, which those same leaders have consistently blamed for the terrible state of the economy.
This is true.
Levántame el bloqueo. Levántame las 243 medidas y vamos a ver cómo tocamos.
The U.S. embargo, I think it has two effects. One is the real effect, and the other one is the way it serves the authorities as an excuse to evade their own responsibility.
So what they're saying is that the U.S. embargo had nothing to do with what's going on in Cuba.
Right.
Hey, can you look up the definition of embargo? Yeah, look that up.
So basically, what she's saying is it's doing two things. It's actually stopping the process of us getting food and things like that. And secondly, it's stopping them from taking responsibility and saying, all right, y'all, let's do what we got to do to make this self-sufficient. Let's do what we got to do so we can actually help families feed themselves.
Giving them an excuse.
Right.
They're starving them out.
Embargo, yeah. But
embargo, noun. An order of a government prohibiting the departure of commercial ships from its ports.
Go ahead, keep going.
A legal prohibition on commerce.
A legal prohibition on commerce. What is commerce? Items, food, victuals,
buying
stuff like
and
that.
selling.
So America put a legal prohibition, meaning they determine what goes in, what goes out, the prices and everything. They determine everything on a nation's ability to feed itself.
Exactly. And what comes into the country by way of
Right.
other countries as well.
Right. What goes in the country, what leaves the country, how much it's going to be, all of that. America has done. I'm going to tell you, man, this man, hey, give me Joe 9:24, man. People, y'all better believe this man in the damn devil,
For
man.
real.
I'm in the devil. You want to look like him so bad. You so-called Cubans want to look white so bad, some of y'all. Joe 9:24, read that.
The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24.
Bring it out.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Read on.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Go ahead.
If not, where and who is he?
God says the earth is given into the hand of the white man.
Right.
The whole earth. That's why he's able to put sanction and embargoes on countries that he's not even a part of. Like, what? This ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
Who gave you the authority, the ability to do all this to all these countries? The devil did.
Right.
Satan. Satan is his God. Go back to the video. We gonna listen to her talk about America.
And that thing too is now the world is seeing that Esau is the goddamn devil the Bible speak of. Esau is, the world is seeing that Esau is the man of perdition.
Yep.
He is the one. He is the one that's troubling all nations. Now, when it comes down to it, the earnings expectations, everybody wait for salvation. They wait for salvation. Somebody help us. But that's the sons of God. By us keeping the commandments, y'all changing y'all mentality. Y'all from Cuba to Manasseh, it's gonna happen. But you got to get this information. Go ahead and play the video.
Evade their own responsibility.
A full trade embargo was first imposed by President Kennedy after Fidel Castro seized power in the Cuban Revolution.
This was initiated in 1962 as part of a larger effort to overthrow the Cuban government. That same embargo still exists today.
It's basically a web of laws and regulations that ban U.S. companies from trading with anyone linked to the Cuban state.
You see, so they stop. So they say, no. We ain't helping y'all. We ain't allowing no company that deal with us to trade with Cuba.
Right.
This whole embargo was to take over the Cuban government. Go ahead.
Make it complicated for international companies to do business with Cuba, especially because so much global trade is done in U.S. dollars, so it has to go through banks in the U.S. Cuba still has trade worth hundreds of millions of dollars with other countries like China, Spain, and Germany. But the U.S. embargo makes it all more time-consuming and more expensive.
And because nearly everything in Cuba is owned and controlled by the state or the military, the sanctions don't just hurt Cuba's leaders. They affect the whole economy.
Under President Obama, a lot of sanctions were relaxed. He even took Cuba off the U.S. list of state sponsors of terrorism. But his successor, President Trump, reversed that policy, put Cuba back on the terror list, and added about 200 more sanctions that target government ministries and businesses linked to the military. So far, President Biden...
Stop. I want y'all to see what's going on, man. So this Cuba outcry, uprising, it was something that was created by America.
Right.
Amazing. I want you to understand what it's saying. It said Obama took them off of the terror list.
Right.
Donald Trump put them back on the terror list and added 22 more sanctions.
No, 200.
200 more sanctions.
Damn. They're worse off now.
They're worse off now. Yeah. That's why they're going through what they're going through.
Right.
Mind you, then they said they put sanctions on businesses linked to the military. But you know what's crazy? Who runs the government? The military.
Right.
So all businesses had to be what? Sanctioned. All businesses felt that. Because they all was linked to the military.
Exactly.
It's a military state. They run everything. It's a communist.
Right.
Go ahead, man. I'm telling you, man, y'all better pick up on, America's the devil, man. Go ahead.
Biden has kept all those sanctions and even added some more against Cuban officials after the crackdown on protesters.
So then Biden kept the sanctions and added more.
Right.
That's that enemy right there.
That's the guy that says that the internment camps or the camps that they got what they had, Issachar in there. Oh, I'm gonna take them out. I'm gonna do it better. I'm gonna do better. But you're doing worse by Cuba. You're doing worse,
bruh. This Cuba, what is it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Give me help, y'all. This Cuban revolution
or uprising.
This Cuba atrocity,
right?
Problem was created by America
systematically.
It was systematically done by America.
Yep.
Bring it because what's going to happen is America is going to go in and they're going to take Cuba.
Right.
They will take Cuba.
That's how they help.
That's how they help.
Yeah.
They will put their man in office. They will try to change it to a republic or a democracy.
Exactly.
They will try to change it to get the people on their side to do their bidding.
Right. And it's happening already because they looking at
happening.
You see where they at right now? SOS Cuba. Where that's at? That's Washington
that's
D.C.
America. Yeah,
that's the capital.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically reaching out to America like, hey, listen, come on,
help us.
Change this from this dictatorship
to Cuba.
Right.
Go into Cuba and help us.
The people will welcome you with open arms.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Go on. We almost done with this article. We have like 20 more, but we ain't able to get to it. Go ahead.
Lie. What's clear is that Cuba's ability to provide for its people, which let's face it, is supposed to be the Cuban model, well, that's being squeezed like never before. And gone are Cuba's rich friends.
It says, gone are Cuba's rich friends. Remember Spain, China, all of
right. Those that supported Cuba.
They said they're not going to do it. Or remember, it's very hard for them to do it now.
Right.
And now they got 400 more sanctions on them. It's hard. So now it's like Cuba is left on an island literally by themselves.
Dang.
And the only one that's going to come help them is the good old America.
Right.
American dollar.
Why? Because the majority of Cubans, where they want to go to, America. Go ahead, play it.
For decades, it could count on the Soviet Union. But when it collapsed in the 1990s, so did Cuba's economy. That was Cuba's last big crisis.
American flags.
In the 2000s, Cuba found a new friend in Venezuela and benefited from dirt cheap Venezuelan
oil. Let's see what happened to Venezuela.
And resell. But oil shipments are way down because of U.S. sanctions.
Stop! It says, after the Soviet Union fell, right? It says, then they count on who? Venezuela.
Right.
But then she said, but after U.S. put sanctions on Venezuela, now they can't even buy a doggone gallon of oil.
Yep.
And remember, Venezuela had more oil reserves than anywhere on the face of the planet.
Right.
Venezuela had more oil reserves than anywhere on the face of the planet. Go ahead.
Collapse of Venezuela's economy and its oil sector. And it's left Cuba struggling to keep the lights on.
There's no more superpower or political ally that can boost the stability of the Cuban regime in ways that happened before.
Because the economy's been so bad for years, many Cubans have relied on remittances, money sent from their relatives abroad, especially those in the US. And that's an important source of dollars for the Cuban economy too. But even that tap isn't flowing like it used to. Under President Trump, companies like Western Union were banned from sending cash because they work for the bank in Cuba owned by the military.
You see?
So
Man, that's wicked.
I'm telling you, it's wicked as hell.
That's crazy.
It said Western Union, they got banned from working from receiving money from America in Cuba. Damn. Why? Because they work for who? The military. All businesses in Cuba is a part of the military. Go ahead.
That dried up a big source of cash. And Cubans can hardly rely on their own currency. The peso just can't buy them what they need. It got even worse when the government devalued the peso back in January as part of a major currency reform.
But it created an enormous inflation. So the price of food especially went way up.
It's a huge mess. And then you add a pandemic, which has cut off another economic lifeline for Cuba. Tourist dollars.
Stop. I'm telling you, man, all this stuff is planned.
Right.
It said now we're gonna put the pandemic in to cut off another source of money, tourism.
No
ships.
No cruise lines.
Yeah, no cruise lines.
No cruise lines.
No
here.
planes, nothing. You're not coming to Cuba. No more tourism. So now literally they're letting Cuba die from the inside. Literally.
Yep.
And nobody's helping
them. That's one of the ways those on the islands made their money was tourism coming to view the island and spend money, and you know what I'm saying? Now that's done, the economy has crashed.
They're starving them out.
Good. Hey, give me that in Matthew. Wow, because this is how America does things, man. This is how America does things. Hold up.
That's how the man of perdition move.
Exactly. Hey, this is how I do things. Give me, hold up. Give me, where's that? Matthew. Let me see. Give me that Luke. I'll go to Luke. Luke 21. This how the white man does things, man. This is how they move. They've been doing this for centuries. This ain't nothing new. Now they're just doing it on another level. They're doing it on a bigger scale. Matthew chapter 21. And I want you to read verse 20. I'm sorry, Luke 21, my bad. Luke 21 and 20.
The book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 20.
Bring it out.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies.
Compassed means surrounded. Completely surrounded round about. You shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies. What army? The Roman army. The white man. 70 AD. Read.
Then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
So back then, this was a means of takeover that the white man did to Jerusalem in 70 AD. They were surrounded Jerusalem. It says compassed. Everybody that was inside starved out.
Interesting.
They starved them out.
Ain't no food coming in, ain't no food going out, no water, no nothing coming in, or nothing going out.
That's why Christ told them, hey, flee to the mountains. You better go in. You better go into the mountains, because if you get caught, it's over. It's over. Hold that. You're in the book of Deuteronomy 28, because it's saying the same thing.
Sounds like an embargo.
That's exactly what it is. That's an embargo of today's time. I want to say it's the same mentality. It's the same thing. They doing the same thing to God's people. They doing the same thing to God's elect. Give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54.
Bring it out.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
This was during the siege. The siege, read on.
And toward the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Watch this.
So that he will not give it to any of them of the flesh of his children.
Because why? There was no food. So we started eating our own kids. Go on.
Whom he shall eat.
Whom he shall eat. Go on.
Because he have nothing left him in the siege.
Why? In the what?
In the siege.
In the siege. What did Christ call it? Compassed. When you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, that's the same thing as siege. Hold that. Because the white man's the devil, man. They doing the same thing today, what they did to our forefathers back then. Go to Jeremiah. Go to Jeremiah chapter 19, and guess who else did it? Jeremiah chapter 19. Let me see. Is it 19? 19 and verse, start at verse 7.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 19, verse 7.
Read. Bring it out.
And I will make void the counsel of Judah and Jerusalem in this place.
Go ahead.
And I will cause them to fall by the sword.
Fall by the sword.
Before their enemies.
Go ahead.
And by the hand of them that seek their lives.
The hands of them that seek our lives is the white man. He seek our lives.
That's right.
Read.
And their carcasses.
And their carcasses.
Will I give to be meat for the fowls of heaven. And for the beasts of the earth.
Read.
And I will make this city desolate and in hissing. Everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished.
Go ahead.
And hiss.
Because of what?
Because of all the plagues.
Because of all the sanctions. All the embargoes, read.
Thereof.
Watch verse 8. I'm sorry, verse 9.
And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons.
Cause them to eat the flesh of their sons. Read on.
And the flesh of their daughters.
The flesh of their children. Read.
And they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend.
Watch this.
In the sea.
In the what?
In the sea.
In the takeover. Damn. Babylon did the same thing.
Damn.
Babylon and Rome did the same thing. What does God call America? The daughter of Babylon. Babylon and Egypt. This is how America roll, man. This is how the white man roll.
Yep.
This is the spirit they in. So what they do is they see today they're not going to outright surround you with ships and what's the other ones? Submarines.
Right.
They're not going to just surround. Now they're just going to
Tanks
put
and stuff.
sanctions on you.
No Western Union.
Right. No Western Union.
Stop the money.
Stop the money. All the businesses in Cuba sanction them.
Right.
Now we going to do that so that y'all can starve out from the inside out. Damn.
That's
I'm telling you what, man, the devil, man.
That's heavy, man.
Been doing the same thing.
Over and over.
Over and over, doing the
Over and over.
same thing since the beginning of time.
Yep.
Go back.
History, man. History.
This year, international visitors are down by nearly 90%.
Cuando desapareció el turismo por la pandemia, nos quedamos con las manos cruzadas.
The other devastating effect of the pandemic has been on Cuba's health system. It's often held up as an example of something Cuba's actually done quite well, at least better than some of its Latin American neighbors. But like other sectors, it's suffered from mismanagement and sanctions. And now it's being crushed by COVID-19.
Hemos tenido que crear capacidades de hospitalización en lugares que nunca se habían
All right,
pensado.
we got to move on from this. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, we got to move on from this. You so-called Cubans, man, y'all better get your mind right.
Well, Most High putting a squeeze on you. Most High is putting a squeeze on you. That's how we just read in Hosea 13:9. Most High God is our help.
Agent, I would say we're going to bring out why the Lord is sending the pestilence.
Right.
The Lord is sending that pestilence, man.
Yep.
We'll read.
That famine is here.
Which one is this one? Yeah, go ahead. Hey, we got to this. Okay, go ahead.
Like Cuba, often use internet blackouts to stifle dissent. Now the government has moved to penalize online activities, which it sees as social subversion in its first cybersecurity law.
A mí me parece que eso es algo en contra de la libertad de expresión de cada cual. Sí, el internet se hizo para eso, para tú ver lo que quieras, poner lo que quieras, leer lo que quieras, investigar, buscar.
The legislation lays out a series of incidents that constitute a crime, including cyber warfare, pornography, and calls for public disturbances, as well as spreading information that the authorities see as false or damaging to the country's image. The text has sparked an uproar on social media, with people criticizing it as treating cybercrimes and voices of dissent as one and the same. The state has a monopoly on telecommunications on the island. When historic nationwide protests erupted in July, the regime quickly moved to block social media platforms.
You see that? When the uprising came, the government immediately turn off the internet.
Cap, that's a big thing to do.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of manpower right there.
Yep, to turn off all that stuff. Say, nah, you know what? We're not going to let none of this stuff go out on the island. They're not going to give Cuba a bad name. Go on.
Government to start looking for ways to beam uncensored internet access into the Caribbean nation. Havana accused Washington of aggression.
Los Estados Unidos lo que quiere es brindar una internet paralela.
We got to read this. What the United States wants is to provide our country with a parallel internet.
Nuestro país. Y lo que quiere brindar es una injerencia.
And interfere in our country. We are not going to allow any interference. Go ahead.
A nuestro país. Y realmente nosotros no vamos a permitir esa injerencia porque está.
The regime had blamed last month's unrest on foreign powers manipulating its citizens through social media.
Damn. Hey, so you got to understand something. Everybody on the hierarchies is saying what? It's America.
Right.
Exactly.
America's not going to interfere.
Everybody that knows something, what they saying is that it's America that's causing this. It's the internet. It's the social media.
Right.
It's a propaganda. They putting it out there. The people of the country are saying
Nah, we want America to come help us. So you got to understand something. Somebody knows something.
Exactly.
Somebody tell the truth.
Somebody knows something.
Somebody knows something like, hey, it's America. America's doing this. We're not going to let y'all interfere to our country. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to shut down the internet.
Right.
Yep. We're not going to let y'all influence our people. Influence our people to uprise.
Hell no.
To go against the country. I'm going to tell y'all what they're using to cause Manasseh to uprise in Cuba. They're using Judah.
What?
Right. They're using the uprising of Judah to cause Manasseh to uprise. But little do they know that it's all God's plan.
That's right.
It's all God's plan. Give me that in Hosea 5.
That's right.
All of this is the plan of God. All of it.
And you know what's crazy when it comes down to it? Right now, if there's no internet in Cuba, this information can't go out.
Exactly.
They can't receive this information right now.
Yep.
So now it takes for us to have to put boots on the ground for us to actually have to get there if that's even possible.
It ain't possible right now.
Right. If that's even possible right now.
You better pray to the Lord. You better pray to the Lord that seed that was planted there.
Right. Right.
When leadership went there, that seed. That seed. I'm telling you, man, the spirit is always when you see leadership go somewhere, the spirit is something gets left there. The seeds have been planted.
Yep.
So that uprising is all because the spirit is something going on that island. Right. And that's gonna bring people to repentance.
Right.
Go ahead, Hosea 5:15.
The book of Hosea, chapter 5 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense.
God says you got to acknowledge your offense. So what is I'm going to go and return to my place? That means all atrocities is going to happen. All sin, all wickedness is going to happen to you because I am not with you.
Yep.
I'm back home I'm back at my house.
Chilling.
I'm not there protecting you until you acknowledge your offense. Read on.
And seek my face.
And seek the Lord's face, which is his Bible. Not just his Bible, but actually reading it, actually applying what you're reading. That's seeking the Lord's face.
Right.
Seeking means I'm trying to discover something.
Exactly.
Right. I'm looking for something. I'm searching. I'm going to walk that extra mile. I'm going to run that extra leg because I'm trying to get somewhere. Read. Go ahead. You going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that's actually also changing your nationality,
right,
from Cuba to Manasseh,
right.
So when it comes down to it, your heritage has to change as well.
Everything,
all that Cuban pride, all that other stuff, that's not a part of your heritage. That's a part of your offense to God. That's a part of your offense. Hey, let me get that in.
Hold on, read it.
My bad, Cap. My bad.
Go ahead.
In their affliction.
In their what?
Affliction.
In what you going through, all these uprisings,
right?
All the country, the food is bad,
right?
The country, treating the people bad,
price hiking,
all this stuff. God says, in your affliction, read,
they will seek me early.
That's when you're gonna seek God.
There it is. Right.
That's what you're gonna seek God.
Right.
In this COVID-19 crap, now they're saying Cuba is one of the worst cases of COVID in the face of the planet.
Right.
Look at it real quick. Look up the Cuban COVID cases. Watch this.
The stats on COVID in Cuba.
Because you got to understand something. So no country is going to come help Cuba.
Right.
America, the home of the great, in God we trust.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't going to go help Cuba. No country.
Right.
America not helping them, and they're not allowing nobody else to help them. But they want to give them what? Vaccines. They want to give them the jab.
They say only we can sit there and
you
kill
said
them.
that's crazy?
Exactly.
So you don't want to help us when it come to food, but you want to give us the jabs. Look up. Watch how bad these cases are. You got it? Go ahead. Pull it up. Look at this. COVID cases in Cuba. Location, Cuba. Cases, 455,000. Deaths, 4,240. You understand Cuba don't got no big population like that.
Right.
I want you to go to what's the worst places of COVID?
Or the worst islands, actually, or something like that.
No, it don't even matter. The worst countries with COVID. Let's see where they at. Let's see where they at. It ain't SOS Cuba, it's Repent Cuba. That's what we should be holding up. We should be holding up signs that say Cuba repent.
Right.
There you go.
That's our problem. We want the white man to come save us. The white man ain't saving Cuba, man. The white man ain't saving Cuba. The white man ain't saving nobody but themselves, and majority of them gonna die. You got it? Go ahead. Let's see what we're looking at. So we got United States, India, Brazil, Russia, France, United Kingdom. This is in order, right? The cases. Look at the United States, man. United States got the most cases and the most deaths. Ain't that something? Wait a minute. Hold up. Why they make it seem like everywhere else is so much worse than America?
Right.
And they
in the news,
here.
that's all they talk about is India. That's all they talk about in the news is India.
Right.
India has the worst outbreaks of death among children, and it's 100,000 people dying every day. Look at this. United States got the most cases and the most deaths. And they came up with the jab.
Exactly.
Right. How you come up with the jab and your country got the most deaths?
Something's wrong there.
Something's wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Your country should be on a decline for everything if you came up with the jab.
Right. Jab ain't working.
At least I know if my house was sick, I'm gonna make sure my house get healed before I healed your house.
Right. For real. But they spreading everywhere else to try to go get people the jab.
Watch this. Hey, go down. Keep going down. Let's see what we got. Hey, you know who ain't on there? Go up.
Yeah,
I don't see China.
I
don't see China.
That's what I was gonna bring out.
I'm still waiting.
You know who ain't on there, right? China. Go down.
Bao Zhonghao.
Let's see too. See China. Let's see. Keep going down. I don't even see China.
What is this?
I see Asia. Well, I want to see China. Keep going. Cuba, stop. So Cuba right there. Why just say Asia? What is that? Oh, that's in North America.
I was gonna say what you're looking at.
Go down. I'm waiting on China.
Control F that.
Dominican Republic. Yeah. You got to just scroll down.
Because
Venezuela, South Korea.
Hey, if you put CTRL-F and put China, it'll go straight to it.
Control F.
CTRL-F.
Control
put
F, China.
There we go.
Look at this, bro. Somebody take a look at this. Somebody take a look at this. 94,000 cases
and only 4,000
deaths.
Somebody come look at this.
Is this of this year alone?
Oh, that's crazy. I think that's in total.
Nah, this ain't in total. Go back up.
That's crazy.
Countries where COVID-19 has spread. Somebody lying.
Exactly.
Right.
Somebody lying, bro. Read it. Read countries where. Read it.
220 countries
Watch this!
and territories around the world have reported a total of 210
million
784,000.
Watch this, y'all. Watch the lies the white man put on Google. Read.
Confirmed cases
Go ahead.
of the coronavirus COVID-19.
That what?
That originated
From where?
From Wuhan, China.
Why ain't they all dead yet? If it originated there, this is a lie.
This is a lie, bro.
Hey,
it's
look,
a lie.
They saying and a death toll of 4,416,000. So what they trying to say? That's from China?
No. They're trying to say the total.
Oh, okay.
The total is 4,416 people have died so far.
That's crazy. But China only got 94,000 reported cases.
94,000 cases. 4,000 deaths.
Somebody lying.
Just 4,000, bro. I'm moving to China, bro.
But right, and
China got the cure. China got the cure.
It originated from China.
Go all the way down. Let's see who the. Let's see. Hold up.
Gotta ask them.
Go up. Oh, you know what it is.
Gotta ask them that in Benjamin. Why?
Go to what's that place where they try to assassinate the brother? Madagascar. Go to Madagascar. Both 42. Look, only 954 deaths.
They were doing something right over there.
They doing something right, man.
Dang, what's going on?
They are doing something right. Go up a little bit. Stop. Singapore, 46 deaths. Rwanda, 996 deaths. Go to Haiti. Only 582 deaths, man.
Man, more people died from the earthquake just now. That's crazy.
So when you go all the way up to America, go back up to America. Back up to good old America. United States, 653
Congratulations.
85 deaths.
Babylon, you on the top of the charts for everything.
In America.
Here.
That's crazy.
Something ain't right, man. Something is not right.
Come on now, dog.
All right, we almost done, y'all. We almost done. Let's go back. Let's go. Yeah, let's go to that TikTok video. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead and play it. Go ahead and play it. Go ahead and play the video.
Church in Madrid, Marcel Rubio is packing medical supplies donated by hospitals, pharmacies, and individual people, all bound for Cuba. She is part of a growing international network of volunteers from the Cuban diaspora who have been transporting tons of aid back to the island in recent months. The island, which has one of the worst COVID outbreaks in the world.
Now stop it now. I want y'all to understand something. Now, we just looked up the stats, right? It says Cuba has one of the worst outbreaks of COVID in the world. That's a lie.
Yep.
We just look at the stats. Let's look at the population of Cuba, please. They say, well, according to the population, you have to do the... Okay, whatever, let's find out. Population of Cuba.
They want to come here with all them deaths, right?
Right, they want to come here, right. And this is where the jab originated from. And they got 3 forms of the jab. And not one of them work. 11.33 million people live in Cuba.
That's in 2019. We're in 2021 right now. So you could...
Well, you could bump that up by like 3 million.
Right.
3-4 million.
Yep.
But I'm going to use this number because it's on the screen. 11 million people live in Cuba. But they say Cuba has the worst outbreak. Right. Cuba has the worst outbreak with less than 1 million people. Right? What was the numbers for Cuba? 500 that was reported, and then only like 4,000 died.
Yes. Yep.
And consider their medical aspects. They ain't getting no medical over there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. I want to say, consider the medical aspects. They doing pretty good. They doing pretty good, man. Not having no medication, not having no type of medication. They actually doing all right. Having 11 million people.
Yep.
All right, go back to the video. Say, man, the white man the devil, man. They make these countries that they about to take over look like they are just absolutely just worse.
Right. In the sewers and the gutters.
Just bad as hell.
They got to come in and
it's all propaganda, man.
Save the day.
They try to control the minds of the people on the outside looking in. Go ahead.
Mass protests.
It consists of creating a collective dynamic of cooperation in which people who send their families packages can support and pay for shipments for other families who do not have anyone outside. We have a platform, Ko-fi, where anyone can donate from anywhere in the world to pay for the extra suitcases, to pay for medicines, for supplies that are missing. There has been a wonderful collaboration also from the hospitals, I must say.
After supplies are carefully wrapped in the church, volunteers like Rachel Savigne then take the supply to Cuba.
The healthcare system has already collapsed there. There are many people in need. There are many sick people, and this is helpful.
Built under the late revolutionary leader Fidel Castro, Cuba's universal public healthcare system is one of his revolution's most treasured achievements. But the
see that? That's what I'm saying. Some stuff he did was actually damn good for his people.
Right.
The healthcare system, bruh. You know the best doctors at one point was from Cuba.
Right. Yep.
They would get. I'm gonna tell you what they did. I used to work with this dude. He was in Cuba. He was a surgeon.
Right.
One of the top surgeons in Cuba. But he wanted to leave Cuba and come to America. When he came to America, they didn't give a damn about what he used to do in Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
What?
He became a damn phlebotomist.
Right.
You sticking people with needles to collect blood.
Man.
You make it $15 an hour, but in Cuba you was a surgeon. In Cuba, their health care was top notch,
right.
man.
Top notch.
One of the tops in the world. Their doctors, their nurses, their surgeons, one of the top in the world. So Fidel Castro actually did something good, man. I mean, he was wicked as hell, but he did something good. Go ahead.
Right.
We almost done.
Economic crisis has seen shortages of medicines and other basic goods. The government largely blames US sanctions, while its critics blame the inefficient state-run economy.
You see that? US officials blame US sanctions because that's the truth. What would make a country as a I want you to understand something. Dictatorship, or what they call it? Communism. Communism, the thought never changes.
Right.
Meaning, if I had this thought, 10 years later, it's gonna be the same thought.
Right.
Whoever comes after me, gonna follow the same regime.
Right.
Who comes after me, gonna follow the same process. America deals with that Republican, Democrat, and make you think that, well, you have a voice now.
Right. It can be changed.
It can be changed. Someone just said something. What brings upon a change from a communist country? Anybody know? It's another country intervene in that country.
Right.
Another country has to step in and overthrow or put in propaganda,
Right. Exactly.
something to change the mind of the people.
Yeah, they did that with Muammar Gaddafi.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Gaddafi, when he was over, I mean, they was thriving.
Yeah.
They was thriving, and now now look at it.
Right.
That place is damn shambles. Look like a doggone third world country now.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
When Gaddafi was in power, bro, you had free schooling.
Exactly.
You had free health care.
Healthcare, yeah, that's one of the major things.
Bro, if you graduated high school, if you graduated secondary, post school, you got free college.
Say what?
You don't have to pay for that stuff, man.
Right.
If you was pregnant, every pregnant woman got a stimulus bill, a stimulus check, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Every pregnant woman had the government gave her money to help her provide for that baby,
Right.
even if she was married or not.
Right.
So a lot of things that they were doing that Gaddafi was going was on point. A lot of things that Fidel Castro was doing was on point.
That universal health care, that's a good thing.
That's a hell of that's
right.
That's damn good. Go ahead, go back.
Last month, the shortages, along with power outages and a lack of civil liberties, prompted rare mass street protests.
Turn it up.
One of the measures the Cuban government took in response to the unrest was to allow travelers to bring in medicine, food, and sanitary products without paying import duties.
Look all of
in
that
the
stuff,
2 weeks
man.
following that,
Look all that stuff that now they got to import from America or from other various places that disperse because this, I think she's in South America. And they're actually taking this stuff to Cuba. Go ahead.
that move, travelers brought in 112 tons of such goods via Havana International Airport, according to Cuban customs. Volunteers welcomed that move, but say its impact was limited, given the few flights operating to Cuba after the government restricted them due to the global health crisis. Many Cubans will continue to rely on volunteers like Marilise Colate, who boarded a plane from Madrid to Havana with 100 kilograms of supplies.
The emotion is enormous, phenomenal. I'm just flipping out because the most beautiful thing I feel in my life is to be able to give the medicine I bring to people who are sick, to give it to the hospitals that need it.
That it? All right, we almost done. Go to Psalms 91:3. Nah, I don't want that. I don't want that. Go to the next video. We're not gonna take a break. Go to the video of Centennial. Because now we're gonna get into why all this stuff happening.
Right.
Why is this stuff happening?
Because you got to ask yourself, why is it that Manasseh, Ephraim, Zebulun, Simeon, why are they going through all this stuff right now?
Bring it out
at this very moment on the 11th hour. Why is Northern Kingdom being the squeeze is getting put down?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes down to it, can I get this one script cap? Let me get Amos chapter 3. Amos chapter 3, and start off at verse 1 real quick. Because the squeeze is getting put down on Northern Kingdom right now. Hey, everybody thought they thought it was good. Yeah, not for long. Read that.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Read it out.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Read on.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Because it was much more. It was more than just Israel that was enslaved in the land of Egypt. Right? Read on.
Saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Read.
Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's right, because you ain't gonna see no uprising in China. You ain't gonna see China protesting for Medicare and food and stuff like that.
Hey, you know what they do? They do protests, but it's very like isolated. They ain't got nothing. They do protest,
right?
But they ain't got nothing to do with why we protest.
Right.
Zero.
Right. We got the squeezes put down on us when it comes down to having to look for another nation to save us.
Right. There you go. Right. There you go. You never see Chinese people
reaching out
for
to
America,
right,
to
to
save
help
them from their dictatorship.
That never happens.
Because China is a communism, correct? Communist?
Yes.
China's a communist. They've been communist since the beginning of time.
Yeah. But they ain't reaching out to Babylon. They ain't reaching out to America. Hey, help us. Help. No, that's not happening. That ain't happening.
They protest and go back to work and get paid.
There you go.
Same day.
Right.
Yeah, they go back to work. They say, yeah, I love this country. I love this country.
Right. So Israel is the reason why we're going through all this, because the Most High said He gonna punish us for our sins, our iniquities.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.